In his first film, In My Mind, Tyler Simmonds breaks the silence about what it's like to live with mental illness as a Black man. He has depression, social anxiety, and ADHD.
I have no idea what is happening. Sadness for no reason. Nervous for no reason. How do you tell your family that you can't feel happiness?
For his next project, he's getting personal again, putting into focus how intergenerational trauma affects his hometown, North Preston, a community built on rocky land on the outskirts of Halifax.
Being told that we're not good enough, being pushed to the side, even where North Preston is laid out geographically. There's this isolation that comes with being in a community that's mainly all Black. We have our own culture.
Ancestors scarred by slavery and racism. Their descendants, he says, bear the burden.
My great-great-grandparents, for instance, were looked down on by white people and were called boy. Like that was a thing that racist white people would call us, which turned into the Black man being like, oh, we have to show that we're men. We have to prove that we're a man. And a lot of these things turn into toxic things, like not showing your emotions and bottling everything up, which turns into anger and which can cause mental illness.
As he internalized his emotions, mental illness wasn't talked about much at home, even though his parents are loving. They did teach him many lessons, including how to walk around in a white world and appear less threatening.
It's not just by my parents, I was taught by people in the community. Make sure you look white people in the eye if you walk into their store. Make sure that your hands are in your pockets. Like certain things, you grow up as a child that's so innocent and you're like, oh, I'm a target and I'm just a kid.
Racism he's experienced since he was a child, part of the suffering that he's inherited.
It's like walking a certain way with a certain confidence because that armor is there to help us let people know we're tough, so don't try to do to us what you did to our ancestors.
You have that armor on?
I feel like in a way I'll always have that armor on.
He's wearing that armor, but also his emotions and vulnerability on his sleeve. All of that rolled into his next movie, entitled There's Soul in Our Soil.
I tell people this, that I look at my disabilities as my superpowers, because everything that I do, these are things that I wanted to do before I knew I had a mental illness. Working with my depression, working with my anxiety and ADHD, and figuring out how I can use these different things to create something beautiful. It's so cool, and it's really empowering.
To help make this project a reality, he's won the JRG Society for the Arts Award for a filmmaker with a disability. Tyler wants to honor his grandfather, Victor Simmonds.
I feel like I really want to dedicate it to him because I want to explore the masculinity in the community and how that affects the mental health, and also why the masculinity is the way that it is. But my granddad was this gentle man who was very peaceful, unless you got on his bad side. And just loved me so much and made me feel understood and not alone.
Elizabeth Chiu, CBC News, North Preston.